Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the Durham Student YouTube channel. I'm Karina and I am a fourth year marketing and management student, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how I made friends at Durham University and about what it's like making friends when you arrive at university. When I was sort of in the summer leading up to starting at Durham University, the thing I think I was most nervous about was making friends, and it was partially because I had a group of close friends at school and I just couldn't quite imagine how I would meet a group of people that would be my people and that I would get along with. I wasn't sure, how to meet people that were just like me. But actually, everybody's in the same situation when you get to uni, and that's the really great thing. Durham University is a community of about 20,000 students, and maybe about 4,000 of these, 5,000, I'm not quite sure on the exact numbers, but are new freshers every year. So there are so many people when you start that are in the same situation as you. To start off with, when you arrive at university for the first time, the first week or week and a half that you're there is Freshers' Week. So I'd say week or week and a half. For UK, for home students, you have 1 week of Freshers' Week. You arrive on the Saturday or the Sunday, and you have till that week later when you then start classes, just a Freshers' Week activities. And then for international students, they typically come a few days earlier. So you'll be arriving on about the Wednesday, Thursday to have a few days to settle in before all the home students arrive as well. Obviously, Freshers' Week is an opportunity designed to meet lots of people, and I think it can seem quite intimidating. But the nice thing to know about Durham is that Freshers' Week isn't just about going clubbing and going on nights out. Now, not to say that if this is what you want to do, that's not an option, because it very much is. You can be going on a night out every single night in Freshers' Week if you want to, and that can be a really great way of meeting people. But for me, that was something that I was a bit nervous of, and I didn't think that would be the way that I would meet my friends. So actually, because of the way that we have the collegiate setup in Durham, there are loads of different activities on offer. So actually we had murder mystery nights in college. We had nights where you could choose to go to the pub instead. There was a clubbing night in Newcastle, but there was also a bowling night on the same night. So there are lots of different ways of meeting people, which means that it doesn't just have to be sort of one type of situation for making friends. Also, the really nice thing is when you arrive at the university, you don't just arrive, go to your corridor, and then that's kind of it. You're just left to your own devices. You can go, you move your stuff in, but then once you've done that, typically you'll head up into the main college buildings to your junior common room, say, which is the sort of social space common area. And there are loads of people there, and the freshers reps are there waiting to meet you and greet you, and all of the other students are there waiting to get to know each other. And so it's a really good opportunity to meet lots of people. So when I arrived, it wasn't just say 6 to 10 people on my corridor to meet. I got to go up there, and actually my best friend that I have made at Durham University, I met that first day in that room full of people. So Freshers' Week provides this great opportunity, but the thing is, you do have to make the most of it, and it can be really nerve-wracking, and I was very nervous about going up to people beforehand. Quite shy of that. Despite what it might seem of me sitting here chatting to a camera, I can be quite an introverted person. I'm not keen on going up to new people, but I challenged myself in Freshers' Week to go up and chat to some new people, to put myself out there, because I knew it was going to be a great opportunity, and it really did pay off doing this. Now, I know that's not for everyone, and that, you might not like to do that, and that's absolutely fine. But there are a few tips and tricks that you can use to help you get started with that if it's not necessarily what comes naturally to you. So firstly, obviously everyone asks everyone's name, where they're from, what they're going to be studying, but have a few other questions up your sleeve. Have a think. What's something interesting that you can easily connect with people over, but that might not be the same question that absolutely everybody's asking? So you might ask, what have you been doing this summer? Have you had any part-time jobs? What do you like to watch on TV? What sort of films do you like? As I previously mentioned, obviously when you first arrive, you'll get allocated to your corridor, you'll get a room there, and a lot of the colleges do do sort of like a preference form in terms of like what your interests are, to try and you know, group you with similar people to you. And then one of the top tips, I'm sure you've heard this from everyone before, to be honest, I've probably said it on this channel before, get yourself a doorstop, wedge your door open in Freshers Week, so that people know as they're walking past your room that you want to have a chat, you want to be sociable, you want to say hi, you want to meet new people. It's a really good way of getting to chat to some people. Now, I personally didn't make friends with the people in my corridor. Not to say that I wasn't friendly with them, but I didn't find my best group of friends there. And actually that's quite different to a lot of my friends, because most of the people I'm friends with did all live on one corridor together. And I probably would have had an easier time, I've got to be honest, if I had been best friends with all the people on my corridor. It would have been lovely, but it's absolutely possible to make a great group of friends even if this doesn't happen. You might have to put in a little more hard work, but the nice thing is the way that the college setup works, you've got a really good opportunity for this. So if you're in a catered accommodation college, because you're going to meal times every day, you will be seeing new people every day. So make the effort to sit with someone different, someone you talked to once. Oh yeah, I remember that was Francesca who worked in the pottery studio. I'll go talk to her. Or if you find that a bit too scary, that's fine. There's always space at the tables. You can sit down somewhere on your own, but maybe the next person that comes through the door, smile at them when they come through, and then maybe they'll come and sit with you as well, and you can do it that way around. As you go on then, just to sort of round up the section on colleges, colleges have loads of events regularly, even after Freshers Week. They have live lounges, they also have all of their own clubs and societies, and I'll get onto clubs and societies a bit more in a moment. But it's a nice smaller community group, which means that you can meet with the same people over and over again, and you've got a really good opportunity to kind of get to know those people in that community. And there are loads of ways to get involved with your college, whether it's through like the committees and the common room, like I've done in my time in Durham, and that's been one of my main ways of forming a community. For me, being part of the Mary's community, as I'm sure you can tell from this channel, has been a really defining part of my Durham experience. But for other people, that's not necessarily the case. And maybe what you have got involved in more is like clubs and societies. And so this moves on to the next chapter of great ways to make friends, is joining different clubs and societies. So as I'm sure you might have heard of before, or you might not, in Freshers Week we have something called a Freshers Fair, and this is basically an event where every club and society in the university comes along and has a stand telling you all about what they do. And this just means that you can find out about all of the different things they have to offer. Now, there are over 250 societies that are part of our Students' Union, so you have such a good opportunity to meet like-minded people. And this Freshers' Fair is a great place to start. Go round, collect all of the pamphlets, sign up to the mailing lists for different societies that you might be interested in. You don't necessarily go for the most obvious ones to you. I had danced ballet before and like some contemporary dance and stuff, but I signed up to Salsa Society to try something sort of within my comfort zone, but a bit different, get to meet some different people, try some things that are like the things that you've done before and pick some new things. And then the week after Freshers Week, there are loads and loads of taster sessions. So you can go along to all of these taster sessions and get an idea of which societies kind of work for you. And then my recommendation would be, and this isn't what I did, and this is my recommendation based on what I think you could do better, is pick maybe 2 societies that you really like, because I tried to pick, you know, like 4 or 5 and go to them all semi-regularly, but actually I think if I'd picked a couple and gone to them really regularly, it would have given me a better opportunity to make friends. And I've seen that through kind of what some of my friends have done, that they've got really close sort of communities in their societies, and some of our other Durham student interns as well, who have either committed to like, you know, one club or one sport, or like to drama or to music, you know, and really focused in on one area, and then they've got to meet loads of people within that community. For me, as I said before, I focus more on the colleges side of it, but this is another really great way of doing it. There's really something for everyone. So one of my housemates this year, she was president of an a cappella choir. Another one was leading an improvised comedy troupe. And then one of my friends was president of beekeeping, but he also fenced on the university fencing team. So as you can see, truly something for everybody. Aside from your colleges, your societies, one last thing is obviously kind of a really important thing. This is what you're going to university for, is meeting your course mates. You know, you're there to do a degree, and actually making friends with your course mates can also be really great. And I think this is something that doesn't necessarily happen over 1 year, but A lot of colleges try and position you on your corridor also with people who are going to be on your course, so that you've got people to go to lectures with, and that's a really great way to meet people. But also you can meet loads of people through your classes too. Obviously, when you're sitting in a lecture hall, not the best environment to meet people. That's not kind of where I met my course mates, but in sort of more workshop classes, in seminars, depending on what you have on your particular degree course, you often get put into small groups to do group work. So you can chat with people through that. And now, to sort of build on all of these things, how do you kind of develop these friendships? You've met people, you've chatted with them a few times, you know that you both really like pizza, coffee, that you both worked in a pottery painting studio, but like, how do you kind of, progress this friendship? Well, one great thing to do is, say you've just finished your seminar class and you don't have something after, this person that you've just been chatting to, ask them if they want to go for a coffee now, like do something afterwards. After you've, been at art society and it's 9 o'clock, you've just been painting for a couple of hours, suggest you go for a drink afterwards, go for a meal. Another thing that I did actually, when I was in my first year of uni, it was not long since the newest Mamma Mia film had come out, and I really loved that. I love musicals, and quite a lot of people love Mamma Mia. It's, a popular film. So I invited people over for movie nights. As I said before, I wasn't particularly close with the people on my corridor. So some of these people that were on other corridors that I needed to make an active effort to, try and become close with, I invited them round. I hosted a movie night in my room. I made popcorn and I put on this film that I'd bought it, so I had a copy of this film that no one else had. So it provided a bit of a different opportunity. And this is my last point, I guess, is make sure to be yourself when you get there. It's really easy to feel like you need to pretend to be a party person or a super outgoing person or whatever to meet new people, but actually the best way of meeting new people and making really good friendships and friendships that'll last is being yourself, because those friendships will be the most genuine. Possibly a lot of information. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. Feel free to leave any questions down below or send them our way, either on the Durham student page on Instagram, or over on the student room page as well, if you haven't checked that out. And we also now have our new TikTok channel as well. We're making loads of content to go on here to try and give you an idea of what Durham University life is like. So if you're a bit nervous, you're hoping to be starting with us in September and you're not sure what it's going to be like, check out the Durham Student on TikTok as well as on Instagram to get a bit of an idea of what student life is like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.